Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Monica and this is my knitting channel called MikaKnits. This is episode 5 of my little podcast here on my channel called the Worsted Witch Podcast. This is a knitting channel where I talk about all things knitting related and everything that I'm doing. Side note, I wanted to give a little bit of an update on my little channel here. Last time I mentioned at the end of my last video that I really wanted to grow my channel and to get a little bit more subscribers so that I could do fun things like giveaways and maybe even release a pattern someday. That is the plan. But little bit of an update. I did get a little bit of growth from the last video that I posted, and I now have 193 subscribers. Yay! I'm so close to 200. So that's exciting for me. I know it's not a lot of people, especially considered there's a lot of people here on YouTube, but it's not a lot of people, but it's exciting for me because it's taken me quite a while to get to that amount of people. So if you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm really happy to have you guys. I'm really trying to grow my little community of knitters here. And yeah, I'm very excited that you're here. Thank you so much. Like I said last time, once I get to 500 subscribers, I will do a little bit of a giveaway. I'm thinking I'll probably give away some yarn. And I'm not quite sure which yarn yet that I'll do. It'll probably be from one of the local yarn shops here where I live. I'm coming to you from Washington State. I live in a town called Puyallup, Washington. Sorry, it's a little bit hot in here. I should probably take my sweater off, but we don't want to. Anyway, I live in a town called Puyallup, Washington. It's about an hour or so outside of Seattle, Washington, but Pacific Northwest is where I live. So it'll probably be from a local yarn shop there. But yeah, so we'll see what happens when I get to 500. I probably won't be comfortable releasing a pattern at 500 subscribers, but you never know. So yeah, very excited. Just wanted to give an update on that. Let me see. The other update that I wanted to share with you guys, which you might have noticed already, my camera's moving around. I just realized that it's moving around. I got gifted, my brother got me this amazing Christmas gift. He got me a DJI gimbal for Christmas, which is a gimbal. If you don't know, it stabilizes your camera so everything is smooth. You use it with your phone, so it's easy for me to record with my phone since that's what I normally use. And the one that I got is all kinds of fancy, so it has this follow track motion, so it follows me around, which is kind of cool. Anyway, I can do some really cool things and really cool shots that I'm learning how to do. I'm gonna try to make a little bit better videos for you guys. So I'm really excited about my new little gimbal, my Christmas gift. I absolutely love it. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I do have my mic on, which is just a cheaper mic, so I'm not sure if it works really well, but I'm not sure if it helps, but I do have it on. So if there's any problems with the audio, or if you are not liking the moving around video thing and you want me to turn that off, I can. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, but I would love to hear it. But that's sort of a new update. So new camera situation. Once I get I do plan on getting a new iPhone as well. Right now I have an iPhone 11, which I film all my videos on. But it's not Pro or anything like that or anything fancy, because when I got the phone, I wasn't shooting videos. And so now, since I shoot all my videos on my phone and I don't have enough money to buy an actual camera yet, I think I'll probably just upgrade my phone because I'm eligible to upgrade my phone. So I can probably do that here at the end of this month, and I plan on just upgrading to the latest version of the iPhone, which I think is the iPhone 13, and I'll get the fancy one with the Pro and a really good camera and all of that. So, yeah, so that's what I plan on doing. D'Artagnan is here. D'Artagnan, say hi. Hi, baby. That is my dog, D'Artagnan. He is a Maltese. He's 6 pounds. He's a little one, but he is the best. I absolutely love D'Artagnan, and I'm so glad that he's here. Anyway, so let me go ahead and just jump straight into this video. I don't want it to be as long as some of my other videos. I did say I would try to cut down the time, so let me go ahead and just get started. Let's see. I do have one thing that I want to mention before I start the knitting talk, and that is new podcast shout outs and recommendations. As you will know from the beginning of this video, I want to grow my little channel here in my little community of knitters. And so I recently started kind of branching out a little bit more on YouTube and trying to find other YouTubers and other new podcasters that are a little bit new and maybe need some love on their channel as well. And so I started looking on YouTube for newer podcasters, and I found 3 newer podcasters that I absolutely love, and I just wanted to give them a quick shout out and let you know about their channel so you can maybe go and check them out yourself. So the first one that I want you guys to say hello to is Brittany. She makes a lovely little podcast. She has her first episode out of her podcast called Frozen Northern Knitting. She is a podcaster. I think she's in the Yucatan? I don't know. She's in northern Canada. So she has a little bit of a Canadian accent, which is kind of fun to listen to. It's very much like if you don't know someone's Canadian, it can be hard to tell until they say certain words like sorry or about, because I think Canadians do a little bit of an accent where they're like about or like sorry or something like that. Anyway, she's fun to listen to. She has some really beautiful, beautiful projects and incredible work that she does. She sells her own yarn as well. She has a yarn, she dyes her own yarn and sells it. Then she also does spinning as well, which is something that I want to learn. I don't know how to do spinning. I have a spinning wheel here at my house, which is actually my mom's spinning wheel, because my mom was doing spinning for a little while, and so my mom knows how to spin, but I don't know how to spin, and so it's something that I want to learn, but I haven't like branched out and learned it yet. So it's kind of fun to watch Brittany on Frozen Northern Knitting talk about spinning and things like that, because I don't know anything about it. So yeah, so anyway, that's a newer podcast. She's amazing. Her yarn company is called Crux Fibers, and in her first episode she talks a little bit about why she calls it Crux Fibers and where that name came from. And yeah, I just recommend checking her out. She's really a joy to watch. She's got her first episode out on YouTube, so if you give a like, or you can use the finder or whatever and just find her channel. She's really wonderful. The second podcast that I want to recommend to you guys and give a shout out to is, I want you to say hello to Caryn from Knitting and Labradors. Caryn is wonderful. Caryn is a new podcaster. She's in, I think she said the northeast of Scotland. So I'm not sure where that is exactly, or if that's considered the Highlands, or I don't know. You guys know I'm a huge Outlander fan, and so I know a weird amount too about Scottish history. And anyway, side note. But yeah, so she's in the northeast of Scotland. So she's got a beautiful Scottish accent. If you like listening to accents, you will love listening to Caryn at Knitting and Labradors. She's absolutely wonderful. She is a newer knitter as well as a newer mom too. She said she gave birth to a little boy in October of last year, so that's actually really fun. I'm an October baby, so I like that. He's born in October. But yeah, she's a wonderful new podcaster to listen to. She's got a lot of fun little projects, and what I noticed on her channel is that she also has some really, really cute bags that she carries all of her knits in. And I think she has a bag that I really want to go get, actually, because it's so cute. It's this little tartan bag that she said was from Make9, and I want to say it's probably like an Etsy shop. I don't know, I gotta look it up. But it's so cute, and so I want to get me a tartan knit bag because obviously I'm obsessed with Scottishness, so and it's not even a word, Scottishness. Anyway, but whatever. She's wonderful. I recommend checking her out. She's got a beautiful little lab called Luna, which is so cute. That's why she's called Knitting and Labradors, which I actually have a chocolate lab called Luna as well. She is my parents' dog. She's a family dog, but she's my parents' dog. She's not like D'Artagnan, who's my dog, he is right here. Say hi, baby. He's like, what are you doing? Get me off camera. He's like, D'Artagnan is terrified of the camera for whatever reason. He just, like, the minute I bring it out, he freaks out. And I don't know what that's about or where that started, but he's been like that since he was a baby. I got D'Artagnan when he was 6 weeks old, which is quite early. So he's, I don't know where that started from, but honestly, he freaks out anytime a camera is around him or is brought out, and yeah, he's just scared to death. So I don't like to put him in too many pictures or on camera too often just because he is scared of it. So, but anyway, but we do also have a chocolate lab named Luna, who is a family dog, but she is not around right now. She's downstairs, and I don't really want to go get her because she's big, and anyway, although I'm filming, so let's not go get her. But anyway, so Caryn from Knitting and Labradors is really fun to listen to. I recommend checking her out. She does have her first episode out as well, so you can go and find her. Lastly, I wanted to give a shout out to a new podcast that I just found this morning, and I think she just posted this, like, maybe last night or something like that. I don't know. She is Molly from MollyKnits podcast. Hi, Molly. She's wonderful. She's brand new. Like, she just has her first episode out. She is a new podcaster from Australia, which is a really, I don't know where in Australia exactly. Don't ask me because I don't know anything about Australia geographics or anything like that. I know where Sydney is, but that's literally it. But I don't know where in Australia she's from, but she is from Australia, which is kind of a nice change of pace, actually, because I think in Australia it's a little bit different. I think it's like south of the equator. I don't know. So in Australia, it's a nice change of pace because their summers are our winters and our winters are their summers. I think. Quote me, or don't quote me, but let me know if that's wrong. But yeah, so it's nice to see the different projects she's doing because it's winter time technically right now here in the United States. And so it would be summertime in Australia, which is wild. That's so weird. Gosh, that's crazy. Thinking about that now, like, how weird is that? Anyway, It's nice to see the different projects that she's doing in her summertime. And she's wonderful. She's a newer knitter, I think, as well. I wrote down, she's knitting this beautiful mohair lace shawl for her wedding. She says that she's getting married later on this year, which is so exciting. Congratulations. But she's getting married and she's making herself a wedding shawl, which, that's beautiful. Gosh, wow. If I were to get married one day, which we'll see. But if I were ever to get married one day, I would want to make myself a wedding shawl too, because those patterns are absolutely gorgeous. They're so intricate and beautiful. And anyway, hers is going to be gorgeous. It's in this beautiful navy blue sort of mohair lace. And anyway, I cannot wait to see it when it's finished. I'm going to continue watching her little channel and her little episodes. I think she's got her first episode out. And she's got a second episode out. So maybe it's the second episode that I think she just uploaded. But anyway, you can check her out. She's wonderful. She goes by MollyKnits podcast on YouTube. So that's it. The first two that I mentioned, the Frozen Northern Knitting, Brittany from Frozen Northern Knitting, and Caryn from Knitting and Labradors, they already have more subscribers than I do. So, but when I found them, they were brand new, and I found them like the day that they posted their channel, their little podcast, their episodes. So when I found them, they were very, very small, and so that's why I wanted to give them a quick shout out. But they already, like I said, have more subscribers than I do, and so anyway, but that's so fun. I just want you to check them out. They're all three wonderful. So yeah, so feel free to check all those podcasts out, and let me just go ahead and get straight on into this episode. I know I'm about like 16 minutes in already, but whatever. So let me go ahead and talk about my knitting. So today I actually, just hitting things. So today I actually do not have any finished objects today. No finished objects today, and so I was like, oh, should I post a video? I don't know, but it's totally fine. It's totally fine if I don't have any finished objects, because it's knitting and it's not like a huge big deal that I don't have finished objects. It's totally fine. I'm fine with it. But anyway, so I do have no finished objects, but I do have a lot of works in progress. Well, not a lot. I have 5. I wrote down 5. So I have 5 works in progress right now. And so let me just go ahead and get straight into works in progress. So the first one that I have is the Santa's Crew socks. Let me just put this down. I have my little notes here so I don't forget anything. And I have my knitting in front of me. So there's all that going on here. If you ever like film a video for like knitting, you will know like there's just a lot happening, and then once you're done, it looks like a tornado ran through your space. It's like crazy. Anyway, so let me go ahead and show you. This is the Santa's Crew socks. This is a design, or a pattern, excuse me, by Twin Stitches, Julianne of Twin Stitches Design. She did this pattern. And I have this one here. This is still the first sock. I have not gotten very far since the last time I talked to you guys. Probably just like maybe a few rows or something like that. I think it's pretty much in the same place. What I should do is actually, I should start doing what Emily from Willow Cove Craft does, where she puts a little marker, like one of these little stitch markers in, where she like show you her progress, and then when she comes back, she'll show you where the marker was and how much progress she's made on her project. So I should probably do that. That's a good idea. I'll do that for next time, but I only have probably a few rows of this Santa's Crew sock pattern to show you guys anyway. So this is the Santa's Crew sock. It's got these cute little reindeers on it. I realize this is a Christmas pattern and it is the middle of January, but whatever, who cares? I'm still gonna wear them. Anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But this is the sock. The yarn that I'm using for this sock is the, what am I using? I'm using Ruby and Rose's Yarn Company sock. This is their sock pattern, or sock set rather, called Castle by Day sock set. So Ruby and Rose's Yarn Company Castle by Day sock set. It's really beautiful, and this is honestly, I think I talked about this before, but this is honestly the softest yarn that I've ever worked with. It's so soft that it has like a halo. Oh, I love it. I love it. Ruby and Roses, I checked out their website, her website. I think it's just one girl. I checked out her website, and I think this is the soft rose base for her yarn, which I'll have to order more of because it's just the softest. I love it so much. Anyway, so that is the Castle by Day sock set, and that is the Santa's Crew sock that I'm knitting. I have that still in my beautiful little bag, my little Scottish Thistle. That is a bag by Baubles and Berries by Ode. From Baubles and Berries. She's in Scotland as well. She's wonderful. I want to order another one of her bags. I just got the size small Scottish Thistle one. I'll have to order another one because they're great. I love her little bags. So beautiful. Okay, and then the next works in progress that I have to show you. Let me grab it. I have it in this bag. Sorry. My camera probably moved with me. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I probably should have put that on lock. You guys can see my dirty space. Whatever. Anyway, I have this this next works in progress in my awesome Murder Shows and Comfy Clothes bag, which I love because, you know, I'm a nerd. Anyway, so the next pattern that I'm working on is the Winter Socks pattern by Mia Demmer, or she also goes by Vicky Vera on Instagram and Ravelry. And let me show you where I'm at on that. I do have some progress that I can show you. The last time I left you, I didn't show it to you because I literally had just casted it on. I didn't have a lot of progress on it. But this is the first sock. This is where I'm at. So I have passed the heel, the gusset decreases. What do you call that? You call this the heel. This is the heel churn. This is the gusset. Is that right? I don't know. I'm new to socks. I'm new to socks, but I've passed the gusset, I believe, where you do all the decreases. Anyway, I'll look it up. This is, you know, I've been knitting since, you know, for 12 years, but we still don't know the lingo, so it's fine. It's okay. But anyway, this is where I'm at on the winter socks pattern. This was a little bit weird because I knit this in, you knit this part right here. You knit this Latvian braid, and then this little section, and then another Latvian braid. And then what you actually have to do is you have to turn it inside out, and then the rest of the knitting, the dogs are making noises. Oh my gosh, sorry. There's the lab. She's right there. Say hi, Luna. She doesn't want to say hi. Anyway, she's probably wondering what I'm doing. Anyway, so let me just show you. So then you have to turn it inside out, and then the rest of the sock you knit on the inside out, so that when you actually put it on and wear it, you just fold this flap over, and it's like this. Isn't that cool? That's sort of a new technique for me. I never did that before. Also, granted, this is only my like 4th pair of socks, but like whatever. So anyway, so that is where I'm at on the winter socks. This is still the first sock, so I've not gotten very far, but I did try these on last night and they do fit me beautifully. This pattern is does call for a size 1 US needle, but I did all of this first, all of the color work here on the top. I did it all in a size 2 US knitting needle. So it's a little bit bigger than probably, it's a little bit bigger than a size 1, obviously. But I did that for the purpose of the fact that what I'm finding is that when I do socks and I do the color work, I get really tight, and so I have to go up a needle size. So I did go up a needle size for this sock, and I did try it on. It does fit over my foot, and it does fit. So I'm very, very excited about that because I didn't have to rip it back or anything like that. So that is where I'm at for this sock. The yarn that I'm using, before I forget to mention, the yarn that I'm using is Moonglow Yarn Company's Frosted Forest sock set, which is a sock set that I purchased in December. So it was, you know, for Christmas. I think she probably doesn't have it anymore on her website, but you could check her website out and see if maybe she does. I don't know. But this was the Frosted Forest sock set. It's this beautiful balsam green with like light green, silver, and red contrasting colors. So yeah, so that is the second works in progress. Let me put that down and put that away and talk about my third works in progress. My third works in progress, I'll lock this so that it doesn't follow me. Okay, so my third works in progress is my perpetual work in progress, as I like to call it, and that is the Slipstravaganza Blanket by Stephen West or WestKnits. The yarn that I'm using for the Slipstravaganza Blanket is the Valley Yarns DK weight yarn. It's just an acrylic cheap yarn that I purchased from yarn.com or Webs as they go by now. This is where I'm at on the Slipstravaganza Blanket. I am in the exact same place that I was in the last video. I have not made any progress on the Slipstravaganza Blanket because I've been focusing on other things. So I won't show you too much of this because there's not very much progress. But I will work on this probably later, maybe later next month or something. This might sit on here for a little while like this, but I'm still working on that. That is still a perpetual work in progress. What I do with this blanket is I pull it out every single time that I want to just have like mindless knitting time. So like if I'm sitting in front of the television trying to watch a show or whatever, I'll pull this blanket out because I'm on the bubble stripe sections right now, and I have 776 stitches on the needles, and so one row takes me like almost an hour or over an hour. I don't know. It takes me a long time to even do one row, and it's all just stockinette right now. Stop it! Sorry. I don't want to hear licking sounds when I'm trying to film a video, so apologies. Anyway, so yeah, so I pull it out when I need to do some mindless knitting because, like I said, just one row takes me forever, and it's just stockinette until I get to the next stripe. And it's once you understand the the bubble pattern or whatever, it's really, really easy, and I don't need to look at the pattern notes to get it done. So haven't worked on it, but I will. So that's my perpetual works in progress. No progress to make to update you on there, but once I have some, I'll show it to you again. So that is the third works in progress. And then this fourth works in progress is the Beauceron sweater. So, oh, sorry, I forgot to put that on lock again. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so the Beauceron sweater is a pattern by Vincent Deslandes of Designs by Dells. The yarn that I'm using for this pattern is the Barocco Vintage DK weight yarn. The colors that I have are this, just like a light pink here, and an oatmeal brown color. And let me show you my progress on that. So I'm still on the yoke, and I haven't made too much progress yet, but still on the yoke. It's a little bit bunched up here on the needles, so I won't like totally stretch it out or anything like that. I don't want this to fall, but I've made some progress, not a whole lot, but probably like from here. I was probably right here the last time I showed it to you guys, and so I've done what, like 1.5 inches. So that's not too bad. I'm hoping to finish this yoke soon so that I can just get to the rest of the body, because I think the rest of the body is just stockinette. So once I finish this yoke, I'll let you guys know. But that's where I'm at right now for the Beauceron sweater. So I'm right here. Let's see if this will show you. Nope, doesn't. Okay. So I'm right about here. I'm right at the shoulders, or right before the shoulders. If I were to put this on, that's where it would be. So yeah, that's my fourth works in progress, is the Beauceron sweater. Let me put that down. Let's see. And the fifth works in progress, I'm so excited to tell you guys about my fifth works in progress. This is a new project that I started last week. Last week I did a thing and I applied to be a test knitter for the very first time. I was like, ooh, do I want to do it? Ooh, do I want to do it? I don't know. I've always wanted to do test knits. I've always wanted to be a test knitter, but I was like scared to like apply for it because I don't know. Anyway, but I applied for it. I applied to be a test knitter for the Mellifera, I think Mellifera. I'm not sure how you say it exactly, but it's a Mellifera Cowl by Jamie Lomax of Pacific Knit Company. This is a test knit that I'm doing for her. She said that I could go ahead and share this on my channel. I'm not going to show the pattern, obviously, but I will show you my progress on it and tell you what yarn that I'm using. So let me go ahead and grab it really quick. It's right in front of me. So this is the Mellifera Cowl. I turned it inside out to look at my floats. But this is the Mellifera Cowl that I am knitting. It is a beautiful little cowl pattern. It features honeybees and honeycombs. And it's really, really cute. So it's a one-sided cowl, as you can see by my floats. But yeah, so this is the cowl that I'm knitting. The yarn that I'm using for this one is, sorry about my dogs, they're going crazy right now. Somebody just arrived home. So, so the yarn that I'm using for this is the Rainier Roses yarn in New Moon. This is a local yarn dyer that I got. This is just the gray that I'm using. This is Rainier Roses yarn. This is the color New Moon. So that's one of the yarns that I'm using. And then the second yarn that I'm using is the Universal Yarns Wool Pop yarn. This is in the color Dijon. So this is my yellow. This wool pop yarn is interesting. It has sort of like this sheen quality to it, if you can see. And so it gives it that extra bit of pop. And so I think that that's really, really cool. It's showing up really, really nicely in the pattern, as you can see. But anyway, so yeah, this is the test knit that I'm doing, and I'm very, very excited. I'm about halfway through, almost exactly halfway through with the test knit. So I will finish this soon. I'm going to work on this mostly this weekend, so this is probably what I'll hopefully get to finish for the next time that I have a podcast. But that is my first test knit. Let me just... Okay, sorry about that. I just wanted to shut the door because the dogs were going crazy. So yeah, so that is my first test knit. That's the one that I'm doing. And I can't wait to show it to you guys. That pattern will be available on January 28th is the projected date that it's going to be released. So I will finish that really, really soon. Obviously, I only have like, I don't know, 9 or 10 more days until I have to finish that. So I will finish that really soon. It won't take me that long. And then the actual pattern will be released on the 28th, so you can check that out. But yeah, so that is my first test knit. Those are all my works in progress that I have to show you, just those 5. And then the next thing I want to talk to you about is future plans. So future plans, same future plans as I had last time. I don't really have anything new except for one thing. So let me just talk about it first, since I have it in front of me and I'm like, oh, let's talk about it. Okay, so first things first is I've been seeing on Instagram a lot of posts about this Make9 thing. It's like a Make9 on Instagram post, and I kept seeing it everywhere, and I was like, what is Make9? What is Make9? What is this? What is this? And so I looked it up, and it's basically your future plans for the year. Make9, some people are doing Make dozen. But Make9 is it should be just part of your future plans, sort of what you plan to make this year. And then at the end of the year, you can look back and see what you finished, and what you didn't get to, or what got changed for something else. And so I decided, let's do Make9, because that looks so much fun. And so I did. I put together a Make9, and I haven't changed it, because a lot of people said that they were like putting it together and then it kept changing. And anyway, so mine has not changed yet. But let me tell you my Make9. So my Make9, I've actually started on one of them. So one of them is the Beauceron sweater that I showed you. So I've already started on that. It's already going. But the Beauceron sweater by Vincent Deslandes is, or Designs by Dells, is part of my Make9. So that's one of them. The next three patterns in my Make9 that I want to talk about, I have not started yet, but I do have the yarn for each of these next three patterns. So the second one that I'll talk about is the Chunky Dahlia Solo pattern. That is a future plan. And I want to show you the yarn that I purchased for that sweater. That sweater, as I talked about last time, is one that I have been looking at for months and months and months. I finally got the courage to purchase the pattern, because when I purchased it, I thought it only came in Norwegian, and I thought, okay, well, whatever, I'll just translate it myself. And so I purchased the pattern thinking I was going to have to translate it myself, and then once I purchased it, I realized that she does have an English version, and so I didn't have to translate it. But I'm very, very excited to show you my yarn for that. This is the yarn that the pattern calls for. Let me grab it. Okay, so it's just right in front of me. So this is the yarn. I still have it in the in the bag, so you can see where I purchased it. I purchased it at Smitten Yarn Company. I think Smitten Yarn Company is a store in New Hampshire. Anyway, they were one of the only stores that I could find that sold this yarn. So yeah, I purchased it from there. Oh my gosh, so excited. All right, so this is the yarn that I purchased for the Chunky Dahlia Solo. This is the yarn that the pattern calls for. This is the Sandnes garn in the Cos weight, which is like a heavy worsted weight. I looked it up. It's like a heavy worsted weight. This is the color that I'm using, which is, let me see if it tells you the color name. It doesn't tell you the color name. It says, I don't know what farge means or parti. I don't know what those things mean. This is obviously a Norwegian company, and those are Norwegian terms, and I don't know what they mean, but I suppose they mean dye lot. One of them is the dye lot. Anyway, this is just like a beige. It's just like a light beige color. This yarn, let me see if you can see it, if it shows you correctly, is like this. It's a heavy worsted weight, but it's not woven or spun or anything. Anyway, it's interesting. I'm very interested to use this yarn. Also, it has baby alpaca, 62% baby alpaca, which is a lot, 9% ull, which is wool. I do know that word in Norwegian, and 29% nylon, excuse me. So the baby alpaca is probably what gives it this sort of halo effect. So that's the yarn that the pattern calls for. That is what I'm using, Sandnes Garn Cos. And then you pair it, you're supposed to pair it with another Sandnes Garn yarn that is the Tyne Silk Mohair yarn by Sandnes Garn, but I could not find that mohair, that silk mohair. I could not find it anywhere. So I wasn't able to purchase the Sandnes Garn mohair because I just could not find it. But I did purchase another mohair to carry along with it that I still have in the bag and that I haven't opened yet. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Oh, it's so soft. Okay, So this is the mohair that I purchased. I purchased the Drops Kid Silk mohair yarn, and the color that I've got is color 42, which is just this beautiful like light brown color. So I have the beige and then the light brown color that I'm going to hold it together with. And I'm very, very excited. The only difference between the Drops Kid Silk mohair and the Sandnes Garn Kid Silk mohair is that the Sandnes Garn has a little bit of wool. I'm not sure the percentage, but it has a little bit of wool in the mohair blend, which the Drops mohair blend does not have wool in it. It just has 75% mohair and 25% silk. So it doesn't have the wool in it, but that's literally the only difference between the Sandnes Garn and the Drops Kid Silk mohair. And since this is a Norwegian pattern, I imagine that she used the Norwegian yarn, and it's obviously probably a much colder climate there than it is here in Washington State. So it's probably okay that I don't have the extra bit of wool in the mohair. So yeah, but that's the yarn that I'm using. I'm very, very excited. So I have the yarn for that. I don't know when I'll cast that on, but hopefully soon or semi soon. So yeah, so that's anyway. Okay, sorry about that. That was my mom. Okay. Anyway, so that's the yarn that I purchased for that. I'm very excited to get that one started. That is part of my Make9. So the Chunky Dahlia Solo is a pattern by Lene Holm Samso, is a Norwegian designer. So that's part of my Make9. The third pattern that's part of my Make9 that I do have the yarn for, that I won't show you because I have it put away, but it is the Snow Pine Sweater by Wool and Pine Designs. All of these patterns I'll post pictures of next to my face so you could see them. But the Wool and Pine Designs made this beautiful sort of sweater, not sort of sweater, it is a sweater. It's called the Snow Pine Sweater. It is the sort of baseball, I think you call that like a baseball raglan type. It is a pattern that has intarsia in it, which I'm excited to learn. So yeah, so I do have the yarn for that. The yarn that I'm going to be using is the a yarn by Miss Babs Yarn Company, the Estrellita fingering weight yarn in the color Coffee Break. It's this beautiful brown, blue, yellow, variegated yarn. So I'm using that for the body, and then for the sleeves I'm going to use just a straight navy. It's a fingering weight yarn by Brooklyn Tweed Yarns. They're Peary yarns in the color Fleet. So it's just like a navy blue. They go really, really well together. The speckles, the yarn for the speckles on that pattern I have not decided on yet. I do have sort of a taupe color that I could use, or I have like a pink color, or I have like a topaz color as well. So I don't know which one I'm going to use yet, but I do have all of the yarn for that purchase. So that is the third sweater in my Make9. The fourth project that I'll talk about, I do have the yarn for as well. This is yarn that I purchased a long, long time ago because I've been wanting to make this shawl. It's not a sweater, it's a shawl. I've been wanting to make it for years, and I have not done it yet. It is a pattern called Fifth Avenue Shawl by Sashiko Umara. I think is how you say her name. But that pattern, it has beads in it, so I have everything. I have the beads, I have the yarn, I have all of it. But I have not started it yet because I don't know how to put beads into yarn. So I'll have to learn how to do that. My mom knows how to do it, so she could probably show me or tell me. If not, I'll just look it up somewhere. I was trying to find my beads, but I don't see them. I was trying to find the beads that I have, but I don't see them right in front of me. I know I have them, but they're not right in front of me, so I can't show you. But I have the yarn to have is just like a black lace. So I have this black lace yarn. I believe the yarn that I purchased is from Knit Picks, and I purchased it years ago, like I said, so I don't remember exactly where it's from, but I think it's Knit Picks. so it's not expensive. And then the beads that I purchased were also from Knit Picks, I want to say, either that or a local yarn shop in Las Vegas when I lived there. So I'm not sure. I'll bring that out once I start that project, but I do plan on making that. So that's the Fifth Avenue Shawl by Sachiko Umura. So yeah, so those are those 4 patterns I have. I've started one of them and I have the yarn for the next 3. So those are the ones that I'm going to start sooner rather than later in my Make9. And then these next 5 patterns I don't have the yarn for, but I do plan on making all of these this year. So the first one is a pattern called Celeste. It's a pattern by Sari Nordland. It's a beautiful sweater with like a sort of lacy yoke, and I plan on doing that in sort of the same color as well, sort of like this like burnt toast, or I don't know what you call it, but just sort of a topaz color, like a dark brown, or anyway. So I'm planning on doing the Celeste. And then the next pattern that I plan on doing, I did purchase the book that these next 2 patterns come in, and I actually purchased the book at the recommendation of Emily from Willow Cove Crafts. She's making one of the sweaters that I'm going to do. She's making one of those sweaters right now. Like, she's actually already started it. She's almost finished with it. So she's making one of those sweaters, and she was talking about the book that it came in. It's a book called Wilderness Knits, which I'll post a picture of so you guys can see. It's a book called Wilderness Knits. It's by Linka Carolyn Newman. She's a Norwegian designer as well. And as I was looking at the sweater that Emily is knitting from Willow Cove Crafts, I found another sweater in that book that I really, really like and that I want to make by the same designer. So I went ahead and I purchased the book because these patterns are not patterns that you can purchase individually on Ravelry. I did look that up. You can't purchase them individually on Ravelry, but they are in the book. So I did purchase the book. It should be here later this month. I'm thinking probably around the 20th or the 25th, something like that. That's what Amazon says, so we'll see. But the first, and I'm so sorry if I mess up any of these names. It is Norwegian and I don't speak Norwegian, so I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. But here are the 2 patterns that I plan to make. So the first one is the Matoika Genser, and I want to say Genser is how you say sweater or jumper in Norwegian. Am I wrong? Or am I right? I don't know. The first one is the Matoika Genser. This is a sweater pattern by Linka Carolyn Newman. It is this beautiful, it's got this beautiful yoke. The yarn is the Yoli or Toli? Yopi. The Yopi yarn. That same one that Emily is using for the Foika Genser. It's the same yarn, but it's a little bit of a lighter one, so it's more of it's not a chunky yarn, it's more of like a worsted, or maybe even a DK weight. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's just a smaller weight, but it's the same Lopi yarn, and it has this beautiful yoke in it, and these are sweaters that are made for the outside, so you can wear them outside like without a jacket and stuff, because obviously it's Icelandic wool, so why not? So the first one is the Matoika Genser. I plan on doing that. I do want to get sort of around the same kind of colors as you've seen from the picture, so we'll see. And then the 7th project is the Foika Genser, which is the pattern that Emily is making from Willow Cove Crafts right now. That is another beautiful sweater pattern, and that sweater is knit also with the Lopi yarn, but that yarn is the thicker one. And right now, Emily did mention that she couldn't really find it anywhere, and honestly, neither could I. I couldn't find that yarn anywhere, and I'm thinking it's probably because of the shortage issues that are going around worldwide. There's like a shortage on certain things and certain yarns and stuff like that, and so I imagine that it's probably part of the shortage is why I can't find it anywhere. But I have that in as number 7 6 and 7 on my Make9 list. And what I plan on doing for Make9 is I probably won't start a new project until I finish one. So I won't start the Chunky Dahlia solo that I have the yarn for until I finish the Beau Saran sweater. So that's kind of what I'm gonna do. So I'm not gonna purchase the yarn for that anytime soon, but I do have plans to make both of those sweaters. And then the 8th pattern that I want to talk about, I know this video is getting long already, but that's okay. The 8th pattern that I want to talk about really quickly is a pattern that was recommended to me by a viewer here on my channel, is the Whitmore sweater by Amy Loden. It's a beautiful light lace weight sweater, and it has mohair blend in it, and it's got this beautiful lace yoke in it, so you can see the picture. It's absolutely gorgeous. I do plan on making that sweater. I'm not sure which yarn that I'll purchase for that yet, but that is number 8 on my list, is the Whitmore sweater. So I will be making that one. So thank you for the recommendation. It's absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to get the yarn and get started for all of these, honestly. And then the number 9, the last project in my Make9, I wanted to go with something that was a little bit more, not easy, but a little bit just like simple, I guess is the right word. So something a little bit more simple. So I found this beautiful cardigan called the Georgetown cardigan, and it's just this really simple stockinette style cardigan. This is a pattern by Hannah Fettig. Hannah Fettig or Hannah Fettig? Fettig, we'll say Fettig. Hannah Fettig, she is a designer. I found it on Ravelry, so I'll post a picture here. Anyway, it's just a beautiful, simple cardigan sweater that I feel like I would get a lot of wear out of, and I could really wear kind of everywhere. So that is another future plan. That is plan number 9. Hopefully I'll have that on the needles come next holiday season. I don't know when I'll finish all of these things, or if I will finish all of these things, but that is definitely on the plan. So yeah, so that is my Make9. I did show you a little bit of my acquisitions with yarn that I got for the Chunky Dahlia solo sweater. The next thing I'll talk about is the knit through of the 52 Weeks of Socks book, which I don't have in front of me either. Oh my gosh, I'm so unprepared. Anyway, the 52 Weeks of Socks, I do plan on knitting through that book. I still have not started the first pair of socks, but I will soon. So I won't talk too much about that because I haven't started it yet, but once I start it, I'll let you guys know a little bit more about it. I do plan on starting the first pair of socks for the knit through of that book this month, and so I will I'll start that as soon as I'll start that for the next podcast. So I'm probably going to upload in another couple of weeks here, but I'll start the 52 Weeks of Socks so you guys can see that. I just want to finish one of the socks that I already have going before I start the 52 Weeks of Socks knit through. So we'll see if I can finish that. And that's it. That's it for the knitting content, you guys. That's all I have for you today. If you are leaving and all you want to hear is the knitting content, I apologize for making this video a little bit longer than I wanted to. I really wanted to be like concise, and anyway. Probably not going to happen. But thank you for watching it. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you liked this video. I would love to hear your comments, and thank you for being here if you are leaving. And all you wanted to hear about was the knitting. So thank you. The next thing I'll talk about is books and TV recommendations. And I don't have a lot to say, not as much as I did last time about book and TV recommendations, but I will tell you about some things. So the first one is books. So I did finish The Christmas Pig that I talked about last time. The Christmas Pig is a little book by J.K. Rowling. It's a tale of a little boy who loses his favorite toy on Christmas Eve and ventures to the land of the lost with one of his other toys who was like a replacement for his favorite toy. and they venture to the land of the lost, and he learns all about the land of the lost and the loser who eats old things. And anyway, it's a cute little tale, quick read. If you're looking for something cute over the holiday season to read, I recommend checking The Christmas Pig out. It's very, very cute. Second book that I have actually started. You could peek the mess that will be here once I stop filming. Okay, so anyway, the second book that I'll talk about, I started this book already, as I said I would last time, and I've not gotten very far. I'm almost halfway through, but this is the book that I talked about that I wanted to start last time. This is the book called The Summoning by J.P. Smith. The Summoning, and I didn't really know what it was about the last time I talked about it. I just kind of read it. But so far, what it's about is this woman who unfortunately loses her spouse, loses her husband in the 9/11 attacks. And what she does, she's an actress in New York City, and what she does after she loses her husband is she starts doing psychic readings for people who have lost loved ones, especially people who've lost loved ones in the 9/11 attacks, and in other things, people who've lost loved ones in any capacity. So she starts doing these readings, and she finds out that she's being investigated by the New York detectives. What do you call them? NYPD? I don't know. She's being investigated by the New York police detectives, and yeah. But as she's kind of understanding that she might be investigated, she's also, I've gotten to the bits where she's also so far in her seances and contacting the dead and things like that for her clients, she has been acting. She hasn't really been contacting the dead. She's just been sort of putting on a show for her clients and the people that come to her. But ever since she realizes that she's being investigated, she's actually started experiencing things and getting kind of unsettling feelings and visions and stuff like that into the afterlife. And so it's very, very interesting. So as she's being investigated as a fraud, essentially she starts becoming the real thing. And it's so far very, very interesting. Like I said, I'm only right about here. I'm only on page, what page is this? Page 94. So I'm only on page 94, chapter 22. So far, that's where I'm at. It's really, really good. It's a really quick read. It's sort of a slow burn as well. So, but anyway, that is the book that I'm reading, The Summoning by J.P. Smith. I recommend checking it out. So far, so good. I do like it. The writing is good. Yeah. I'm not totally upset with the characters either, because sometimes when you read things, you can get upset with the characters. But so far, so good. The Summoning by J.P. Smith. So that's it. That's all the books that I have to recommend to you guys today. Not really a lot, but yeah. So that's it. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is movies and TV shows. So I don't really have any new movies that I've watched, but TV shows. So TV shows, I've been watching Outlander, as you will know from my last episode. I am still on season 4. I am savoring season 4, trying not to binge watch. But season 4, I am on episode 6, which I don't know the name of. But I am on episode 6. Brianna and Roger have gotten to the past, and it's so exciting. I love it. So we'll see what happens to them. I know what happens to them because I've read the books, but we'll see what happens to them in the TV series. But so far so good. So that's where I'm at with Outlander, season 4, episode 6. I will watch episode 6 tonight, and we'll finish episode 6 because I haven't watched the whole thing. And then lastly, the other TV show that I have been watching is A Discovery of Witches. So A Discovery of Witches, I briefly talked about the last podcast, but A Discovery of Witches is based off of a book series called the All Souls Trilogy. The first book is called A Discovery of Witches, and then it's called Shadow of Night and the Book of Life. I have the books like right here, so I was just looking at them, sorry. But it's a trilogy. And so the TV series has been out. The 3rd season just came out last weekend, and I did watch the first episode for the 3rd season. The 3rd season is going to be the final season because, like I said, it's just a trilogy, so there's only 3 books. Therefore, there's only 3 television series, or television seasons, excuse me. The show stars Matthew Goode as Matthew de Clermont and Teresa Palmer as Diana Bishop. It is a story about a witch played by Teresa Palmer, a witch named Diana Bishop, who falls in love with a vampire called Matthew de Clermont, played by Matthew Goode. And it's sort of a forbidden love affair, really, because in this world that it's not Diana Gabaldon, it's Deborah Harkness. In this world that Deborah Harkness created, vampires, witches, and demons exist. They look like humans and act like humans, but they, like witches have powers, vampires are vampires and have all kinds of abilities, and demons are interesting. They don't have any powers or special abilities or anything like that, but they do have power of mind. And so they're they're either really, really smart, but in this world, they're like prone to madness. So that's interesting. But anyway, it's sort of a forbidden love affair, though, because in this world, you have the 3 different creatures, and then you have humans, so you have 4 different creatures. And in this world, the creatures are not supposed to intermix and intermingle, so they're not supposed to fall in love, obviously, but they do. And so we are on the 3rd season of this television series, and so far so good. The first episode was very, very good. It was not what I was expecting, but it was still very good. And I can't wait to watch the rest of it. I think there's another episode that's out today, because today is Saturday. So I think there's another episode out that I'll probably watch later, but yeah, so anyway. So 3rd season is out. I'll probably watch another episode later tonight. And yeah, that's it. That's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. That's D'Artagnan. He is back. Thank you for watching my channel. I really, really appreciate you being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. If you feel like helping me grow my little channel here as well and helping me get to 500 subscribers one day, yay! Feel free to shout out my channel or let me know or make a comment or anyway. Help me grow this channel and community. I would love that. So yeah, so that's it. That's all that I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, a wonderful, wonderful day. Happy knitting. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.